Hi, you guys. It's Dr. Lorraine, and today I want to talk about rejection, you guys. Rejection is something that we go through as human beings, and it's not a good feeling, you guys. I've definitely experienced rejection, and rejection hurts because as human beings, you guys, we want to belong, and it's natural feeling to want to belong and be a part of a community, be a part of a friendship, right? But when we are being rejected, you guys, we have to say that our egos are almost bruised because in those instances we feel like what is wrong with us, and we start to think that we're not worthy of the friendships. We start to think that we're not worthy of the relationship, and it may lower your self-esteem, you guys. But I want to tell you, I want to remind you that God's rejection, God allowing people to reject you, is showing you how much He loves you, you guys. God's rejection, for the most part, is our protection, you guys. When you are rejected from the job, when you are rejected from the friendship, when you were rejected from the relationship, when you are rejected from where you think you ought to be, God is protecting you, and He's redirecting you to where you should be, you guys. And this reminds me in the Bible when King Darius was about to promote Daniel, and the administrators hated that. They were so jealous of Daniel, and they rejected Daniel, and to the point where they set him up, and he ended up in a lion's den, you guys. But guess what? Even in that instance, God protected Daniel in that lion's den, you guys. He protected him, and He closed the mouth of the lion so the lions couldn't attack Daniel. And then what happened? Those administrators ended up in the lion's den, and they ate those administrators up. So sometimes we're going to be rejected by people because they see something inside of us that we sometimes don't see, right? They see glory inside of us. They see leadership inside of us. They see things inside of us that they want to have inside of them, you guys, right? It reminds me of Joseph and his brothers. When Joseph told his brothers about his dream, to where his brothers were going to end up bowing down to him, you guys, and his own brothers threw him into slavery. That rejection, you guys, actually redirected Joseph into being the king, you guys, right? And he ended up doing what his dream said, and they did not like that, right? They were jealous of his brother because even his father showed favor on Joseph, you guys. So a lot of times rejection is God's protection, but God, you guys, He will redirect us, you guys. I will never forget, I invited this lady to church, and she began to start talking about me for no reason. You know, I don't know why. And later on, I will say she did eventually apologize, but she started to just throw my character under the bus for no reason. And it really, really hurt my feelings, you guys. And in that instance, I felt a sense of rejection, and I felt slighted. I felt betrayed, you know. But sometimes people, it's like spirits fighting against spirits. God said that we don't fight against flesh. We fight against spirits and principalities. So her spirit did not agree with my spirit, you guys. And to make a long story short, you guys, she would come to church drunk. So eventually the things that she was trying to lie on me about, people start to see who she really was, you guys. So I just want to say this, you guys. Don't allow rejection to hurt you. Sometimes God sees the beginning from the ending. He knows the conversations people are having behind your back. He knows what people's real intentions are. And honestly, I would prefer the rejection up front, right? Than to have someone to be a fake friend, right? To have someone get close to you so they can harm you even worse, you guys. It makes me think about that movie Selena, right? When her manager ended up killing her because of envy. She was close to her. She was in close proximity to her, right? And when you think about even narcissists, you guys, and they have their flying monkeys, and flying monkeys in the narcissist world are people that agree with their bad behavior. They even go into your pages, or they can even monitor you guys so they can, send messages back to that individual. In the spirit world, we call that monitoring spirits, you guys. People that just come around you, right? So they can harm you, so they can gain information, so they can stop and derail your destiny, you guys. We got to understand that these type of people, they exist. So if you are rejected, that's a blessing. Because there's people that will make you feel like you're not rejected just so they can attack you, you guys, right? There's monitoring spirits. There's people out here that's wanting to harm you because they see something inside of you. They have a light. You have a light inside of you, and they want to dim that light. Just like with Daniel, they wanted to dim his light because he was about to be promoted. Just like with Joseph, they wanted to dim Joseph's light because he was about to be promoted, you guys, right? In elevation, you guys, there is going to be a sense of rejection. That's why a lot of times in elevation, we are isolated. We feel isolated. The chosen ones are going to be isolated, you guys. So that's God's protection. Because God is saying, if this person was in your life, you don't know how it would have ended. If you would have took this job, you don't know the destiny that I would have put you on, right? You taking this little job, but I had you doing, but in your book of life, you guys, God has you written to do something much more. So he's protecting you from being comfortable, right? He's protecting you from stagnicity, right? God is protecting us, you guys. I would never forget. There was a soul tie that I had in my 20s, and I did not want to let this relationship go, right? And a lot of times, you guys, I want to say this first. A lot of times when you are dealing with some form of abandonment in your childhood, you start to have attachment styles that are unhealthy. And one attachment style is the insecure attachment style, to where you are, no matter how much this person is rejecting you, you guys, and how much they are using you, you start to manipulate the situation. You think you can change the individual, and so on, you guys. But that rejection, you guys, is a blessing, because imagine that person just being in your life years and years and years, and you have those years of wasted time and pain, you guys. Rejection is a blessing from God. Rejection is a blessing from God. We have to also be mindful of our attachments, you guys. Our attachments to people can harm us, derail us, depending on what type of spirits they have on them, you guys. The spirit of divinity can get you off path, right? It can derail you, right? I would never forget, after my father passed, you guys, I wanted so badly to be attached to a spiritual group. And I ended up being submitted under someone that was practicing witchcraft, right? That was a false prophet, you guys. And let me tell you how God warned me. So I had a dream. So prior to this, right, we would do Bible studies. And so I did not meet that individual initially. And then I went to a conference, and that individual looked me in the eye, and they gave me a prophecy that was not correct, you guys, right? So that night I had a dream. I closed my eyes. I had a dream. I see their eyes attached to a demon-like figure, right? And initially I did not understand what that dream meant, you guys. I am a dreamer. Like I believe God really talks to me in my dreams, you guys, because I've seen things in my dreams and they did come to pass, or God like warns me and like it happens. So I have like verifications that, okay, I am a dreamer, right? So in that instance, which I didn't know, I continued with the group. But in that instance, you guys, I did not know that God was warning me that this is a demonic spirit, that this person is not of God, you guys. He was telling me not to be submitted. We have to understand that our attachments, you guys, even what we're attached to, can derail us spiritually. It can, because in the Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. And because I was attached to this group, you guys, I'm thinking I'm growing in the word, and I'm thinking I'm growing close to God. But you guys, I was so far away, because spiritually I was dying spiritually because of who I was attached to. A demonic spirit, you guys, a false prophet. So we have to be careful of our attachments, you guys. So I honestly wish that group would have rejected me if I would have known. You know, so rejection is God's protection. It's a protection for our lives. But God loves us so much that he will give us warnings. He will protect us in those lion dens, you guys. He will allow our enemies to be our footstools, just like Joseph. So just allow God. Don't be so upset about the rejection, you guys. God is trying to protect you from something that you don't know nothing about. I would never forget when Judge Lynn told her, And I used to watch her all the time. I love her. But she will say, she made this wise statement, and she said, if someone tells you one time that they don't want you, don't give them another opportunity. And sometimes, you guys, the rejection hurts so bad that we don't want to hear that, because we attach that rejection with our self-worth. Just because someone doesn't see our worth or know our worth doesn't mean that that has anything to do with us, you guys. That has anything to do with us, right? So we have to look at that rejection as a blessing, because you don't need to be rejected more than one time. A lot of times when people have these insecure attachment styles, as I mentioned earlier, they chase after that because that feeling of abandonment is so dreadful to them. It's so hurtful to them that they would rather chase after something and try to force something than to just let it go. But I'm here to tell you guys that it's just worth letting it go. It's worth your peace, you guys. There's a statement that people used to always say, keep your enemies closer. And I'm like, why? Why keep your enemies close? I like peace too much. They'll keep my enemies close. They can go far away. They can go far away, you guys. Those enemies, if you're attached to them, if they're close to you guys, all they try to do is cause toxicity in your life, you guys. And it's good to know who your true enemies are. It is good to know who your true enemies are, but keep them distant. I hope this message has helped somebody, and to understand that, you guys, rejection is God's protection. He loves us, y'all. Have a blessed day.